Okay. Alright, now in 2 out of my 3 reviews, I've been pretty negative, I have not been very accepting of Disney Star Wars and their changes to the Star Wars quote unquote film formula. I've been very nitpicky, I've been very aggressive, I have been very hostile towards Disney in basically every single one of my videos. I just think that George Lucas brought a certain level of magic to the Star Wars franchise that we'll never see again as long as George Lucas doesn't have these movies. But that being said, have you seen the new Clone Wars trailer? Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7 is here, my ladies and gentlemen. It is finally here, and I could not be more excited for the conclusion to one of the best animated TV shows. No. One of the best TV shows ever made. Every single shot, every single sequence in this trailer, I saw so much passion and love oozing for the Star Wars franchise. I could not be more hyped for something in Star Wars. I have not been more hyped for something since Star Wars The Force Awakens. I'm literally on the edge of my seat every day. I go to sleep and I'm like, please, let tomorrow be February 17th because I want to watch Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7 on Disney+. Please, right now. The last part of the show will be split into 3 arcs, each containing 4 episodes, making for a 12-episode finale to, again, this just amazing show. I cannot stop gushing about this show. There will be the first Bad Batch arc, which will focus on an experimental clone force and the relationship with Captain Rex, along with Captain Rex finding his lost pal Echo on Anaxis. The Ahsoka on Coruscant arc, which will focus on her life after being kicked out of the Jedi Order, or leaving the Jedi Order after being brought back in. And it'll focus on her character and how it's evolved and how it's grown to see how she perceives the Jedi Order and the Republic. And finally, the Siege of Mandalore, which will focus on Ahsoka and the Mandalorian resistance trying to take back Mandalore from Darth Maul, while tying in the Revenge of the Sith as 2 connected arcs that both happened at the exact same time. Honestly, in terms of the first arc, there was a roughly animated version, an unfinished version already put on StarWars.com for everybody to see. And I would rather be getting an entirely original arc rather than a touched-up version of an old one. It is cool seeing it in HD, but I'd rather get something new for our last 12 episodes. And honestly, if they were going to remake an arc, I would rather have them remade Crystal Crisis, which was, in my opinion, way more entertaining and deeper. With the Ahsoka arc on Coruscant, I'm pretty interested to see where they can take it, but I don't know, it just kind of seems like kind of boring for a last arc in the Clone Wars. It kind of feels like this isn't what they should be going out. It's kind of like going out with a whimper instead of a bang. But, the Clone Wars has been known to make boring arcs on paper very entertaining on screen. With the final arc, I could not be more excited. Ahsoka versus Maul in a climactic showdown. I could not be more hyped for this arc. It's going to be the best thing ever. But Ahsoka's arc in this show was already perfectly concluded with her arc about being framed for the bombing of the Jedi Temple. Those were 4 of the best episodes of the Clone Wars ever, in my opinion. And I don't really know how they're going to top it. Of course, I do have faith in them to top it. But it's going to be really hard to top their crowning achievement in Star Wars, The Clone Wars. The Siege of Mandalore has been shown to have tie-ins with Revenge of the Sith, and I could not be more excited for this. Reliving Revenge of the Sith, but told in a new light with the context of Ahsoka's character is going to be so cool. It's going to be interesting to see what clips and what shots they take from Revenge of the Sith and incorporate them with this new arc, with the Siege of Mandalore. I'm really excited to see how they move forward with this. Now, this is probably not going to happen, but one thing that they have the potential to do with these new episodes is make them longer. Without having to stick with the 30-minute time constraints of Cartoon Network and, filled with commercials, they can make their episodes longer than just 22 minutes. They can expand them, to be 30, even 40. I don't see this happening, but if they have done this, I'm going to be very excited because longer Clone Wars episodes seems like the right direction to take the last season. I really hope they try this out. It's just a pipe dream, but if they did come up with this idea, then I will be super excited. Now, one thing that does concern me a little bit is the choice to rewrite Ahsoka's Coruscant arc. It's been changed in certain areas, and if this was Disney's idea, then I have my worries, but if it was just Dave's choice to rewrite the arc into something better, then I really don't have any concerns. But if it is Disney's idea to rewrite this arc, then I'm not really sure how good those 4 episodes are going to be. Another character I am super excited to see return, besides Ahsoka and Rex, is Darth Maul. Darth Maul, he's like, the Joker. He commands every scene that he's in. He really owns the room, and he is so powerful. His character just emanates a raw energy that always gives me chills whenever he's on screen. And now apparently they're bringing Ray Park, who played Darth Maul in his original role in The Phantom Menace, to do motion capture for the lightsaber duels. Now that is going to be something crazy. I mean, the Phantom Menace level of choreography with the characterization of Darth Maul and Ahsoka Tano, that is going to just be the best thing ever. There's no way they can screw it up like that. They're bringing together 2 of the best things from Star Wars ever, and they're combining it together in the last arc ever in the Clone Wars. Can you imagine how cool that is going to be? So, even though I'm really excited for this last season, as you can tell, I do have one slightly massive complaint. There are so many arcs that we do not get to see in this final season. To see the Crystal Crisis, we don't get to see the Bad Batch hanging out in Kashyyyk. We don't get to see Rex and R2-D2 in a Top Gun type action story. We don't get to see Ahsoka hanging out and trying to destroy a Sith holocron or the Jedi Temple. We don't get to see the Yuuzhan Vong invade all these cool planets with the Delta Squad appearing at some point in time. We don't get to see Asajj Ventress' final arc in the Clone Wars. There are so many cool stories that were just not being shown in their full form. We only get little snippets in there. We only get little baby clips of Cad Bane and Boba Fett hanging out. We only get to see these little unfinished works that could be brought to life, but Disney just won't let it happen. It is very obvious that Dave Filoni would have finished out Star Wars The Clone Wars in its entirety had Disney not canceled it. People like to say, oh, they wanted to make something new. No, Disney canceled Star Wars The Clone Wars. Dave Filoni would have filled out his dream in the fullest, but since Disney kicked him out and made him start on a new show, he just had to adapt. But if you ask me, Dave is best when he's working on this show. His creative team is best when they're working on this show. Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars Resistance, they're just not interesting time periods with enough ideas for their creative minds to expand. This show brings forth so much talent in them. Honestly, I don't even know if Dave Filoni is that talented of a director or a creator, but in Star Wars The Clone Wars, it brings out something in him that just makes everybody smile. But regardless of how short this season will be, I know that Dave Filoni is going to make me smile once again. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Okay.